So here we need to find out the value of sine x over 2, cosine of x over 2 and tangent of x over 2 whenever sine x is given as negative half and x lies in the fourth quadrant. Let us begin. So here we'll start with the condition that x lies in the fourth quadrant. So this means that our value of x, that's going to be greater than or equals to 3 pi over 2 and it's less than 2 pi. Now what we'll do, we'll divide throughout with 2. So 3 pi over 2 divided by 2, that gives us 3 pi over 4 radians. Less than or equals to, where you also divide x by 2, so we get x over 2. And then this is going to be less than 2 pi over 2, so that's pi. So it tells us that the value of x over 2 lies between 3 pi over 4 radians, which is 135 degrees, and pi radians, that's 180 degrees. Now that means, this simply tells us that the angle x over 2, this angle lies in the second quadrant. So that's we have a piece of information. Now this particular information is going to help us determine the sign of these three trig functions. Okay, now that we know in which quadrant the angle x over 2 lies, we will use the given value, which is sine of angle x equals to negative 1/2. Now here what we'll do, we'll try to use this value and find out the value of cosine of angle x. Now we know that cosine of angle x will be given by plus or minus the square root of 1 minus sine squared x. Now what we'll do, in place of sine x, we're going to replace with negative 1/2. So we have square root of 1 minus negative half squared. So when we compute this, we're going to get the value plus or minus square root of 3 over 2. Now we're getting two values, positive value and a negative value, and it's already given to us that x lies in the fourth quadrant. So if x lies in the fourth quadrant, so that means cosine of x is going to be in the fourth quadrant, which tells us that it's going to be positive, because in the fourth quadrant cosine functions are positive. So our cosine of x comes out to be positive square root of 3 over 2. Now that we have the value of cosine of angle x, we are ready to find out the value of sine x over 2, cosine x over 2 and tangent of x over 2. Let's try to find out the value of sine x over 2. Now sine x over 2, that's given by plus or minus the square root of 1 minus cosine of angle x divided by 2. So what we'll do, we'll substitute the value of cosine of x with square root of 3 over 2. So we have 1 minus square root of 3 over 2 whole divided by 2. So that's going to be plus or minus. So we're going to multiply numerator and the denominator with 2. So that gives us 2 minus square root of 3 divided by 4. Now here we're getting two values, one positive and one negative. Now we found out that x over 2 lies in the second quadrant. And in the second quadrant, our sine function is always positive. So that means our final value, it's going to be a positive value. So next what we'll do, we'll try to find out the value of cosine of x over 2. So we have plus or minus the square root of 1 plus cosine of angle x divided by 2. And if we use this formula, then our value comes out to be 2 plus square root of 3 over 4. Now this value is going to be negative because x over 2 lies in the second quadrant where the cosine function is negative. Now that we have obtained the value of sine x over 2 as well as cosine of x over 2, we can find out the value of tangent of the angle x over 2. So that will be given by sine of the angle x over 2 divided by cosine of the angle x over 2, which will be equals to, so we'll take the square root, which is the value of sine x over 2. We have 2 minus square root of 3 divided by 4 whole divided by the cosine of x over 2, so that came out as negative times the square root of 2 plus square root of 3 divided by 4. So that will be equals to negative times the square root of 2 minus square root of 3 divided by 2 plus square root of 3. So what we'll do, we'll rationalize the denominator by multiplying both numerator and the denominator with 2 minus square root of 3. So we have 2 minus square root of 3 in the multiplied to the numerator portion as well. So this will be equals to negative times the square root of, we have in the numerator 2 minus square root of 3 whole square, and in the denominator we have the difference of squares, we have 2 squared minus square root of 3 whole square, and this is going to be simply negative times 2 minus square root of 3, or we have square root of 3 minus 2. This is going to be the value of tangent of x over 2. So here we don't have to worry about the sign because the sign was already taken care of this negative sign which came from cosine of x over 2. So we have successfully obtained the value of cosine x over 2. So that came out as square root of 2 minus square root of 3 over 4. Cosine of x over 2, that's negative times square root of 2 plus square root of 3 over 4. And tangent of x over 2, that's square root of 3 minus